IELTS Life Skills A1 Spouse Visa Test.
Okay, everyone, now listen carefully. I'm just going to write some important questions in here first. First of all, we'll be talking about Phase 1A questions for the test IELTS Life Skills A1 Speaking and Listening Test. Remember, these questions are repeated again and again and again and again, and you must work on those questions. If you would learn them, I'm sure your life will be super easy. We'll first start out with the most important topic. First question number 1 that the examiner might ask you is, do you learn English? Do you learn English? Question number 2. Do you think English is a difficult language to learn? Do you think English is a difficult language to learn? Do you think English is a difficult language to learn? Number 3, these days my students told me that this topic is common, that do you speak in English with your husband? Do you speak in English with your husband? And then another question that the examiner can ask you after that, how do you speak English with your husband? How? How do you speak English with your husband? With your husband. So this means you have to tell on phone or in person, like face to face or on phone. How do you speak English with your husband? Examiner can ask you, do you think it is important to learn English? Do you think it is important to learn English? Besides that, examiner might ask you, do you like to read English books? Do you like to read English books to learn English? Or maybe just like this, do you like to read English books? That's all. Question number 7 could be, why are you learning English? Why? Why are you learning English? Now, sometimes, rather 80% of the times, your phase 1A questions are related to learning English. With questions, do you learn English? Do you think English is a difficult language to learn? Do you speak in English with your husband? How do you speak in English with your husband? Do you think it is important to learn English? Do you like to read English books? Why are you learning English? These are some possible questions. Badge 1. Like candidate A might have these questions or candidate B might have these questions. Now we'll move to the next part of phase 1A once again. Examiner can possibly ask you about morning, okay? So we will prepare some questions, possible questions. Examiner might ask you, when do you wake up in the morning? When do you wake up or get up? Examiner can use the word wake up or can use the word get up. In the morning. In the morning. So when do you wake up or get up in the morning? Second question, what do you eat for breakfast? What do you eat for breakfast? Then, do you like to go for a walk in the morning? Do you like to go for a walk in the morning? Besides that, I don't think so. About morning, the examiner, maybe, do you like to exercise in the morning? Do you like to exercise in the morning? So these are some possible questions for phase 1A. Your candidate B might have, or candidate A might have these questions. Then another badge for phase 1A, important topic, these days very, very popular, and that topic is your house. Yeah. So phase 1A, examiner can ask, and the questions come exactly in this sequence, what I'm telling you, right? Because these questions are normally written in front of the examiners. They just read them and they just ask you. So in a sequence, the examiner can ask you, do you live in a house or in a flat? Do you live in a house or in a flat? If you say I live in a house, then the examiner will ask you, do you have a garden in your house? Do you have a garden in your house? The examiner will ask you, what do you like about your house? What do you like about your house? Then the examiner might ask you, anything else that the examiner can ask you? Do you live in a house or in a flat? Do you have a big house or a small house? Do you have a big house or a small house or a small house? This is a batch of questions from the topic house or the place where you live. Now, another very popular topic is your country. So what are the possible questions that the examiner can ask you about the topic your country? Let's have a look. So we have phase 1A, and the topic is country. So examiner might ask you, what do you like about your country? Or tell me about the things you like about your country or things you don't like about your country. So let's go with the first question. What do you like about your country? What do you like about your country? What do you like about your country? And then, how's the life of people in your country? How's the life of people? How's the life of people in your country? What kind of clothes people wear in your country? What kind of clothes people like to wear in your country? Examiner might also ask you what kind of food people like to eat in your country. What kind of food people like to eat in your country? All right. So what do we have in here? Questions about the country. Another question the examiner might possibly ask you, what are the popular jobs in your country? What are the popular jobs in your country? Jobs in your country. All right. So is there any confusion about this? These are some questions we are going to work on, right? Now let's move to other questions because I am going to tell you every single question that your examiner will ask you, and there's no chance that the examiner will ask you anything different. Okay, now we'll move further. Then comes the topic for phase 1A. Phase 1A, this topic is things you like to do every day or your daily routine. So examiner might ask you, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do in the morning? Or examiner might ask you, what do you do in the afternoon? Morning, can ask you about afternoon, can ask you about evening also. What do you do? Means what actions do you do in the morning, evening, or afternoon? Depends on the examiner. Okay. After that, the examiner might ask you about your daily routine. What are the things that you like to do every day? This is also about like I wake up, I watch TV every day. What are the things? Now, there's so many people who feel so confused that what is the meaning of things? Things means activities only, right? What are the things? What are the things? What are the things that you like to do? Yeah, apologies. Somebody's saying something? Anyways, what are the things that you like to do every day? Every day. Now, besides this, they might ask you about, do you like to listen to music from your daily routine, of course, right? So, do you like to listen to music? What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? Do you like? Examiner might ask you, do you watch films? What kinds of films do you watch? Do you watch films? What kinds of films do you watch? What kinds of films do you watch? Okay. Besides that, what comes to my mind that the examiner might ask you about the books you like to read. So what kinds of books do you like to read? What kinds of books you like to read? I think that's pretty much it from this section. Then another section, another badge that the questions are usually repeated. We're going to go with this one, phase 1A. Examiner will ask you, what do you do on weekends? What do you do on weekends? And then examiner will ask you, when's your birthday? When's your birthday? Examiner might ask you, what do you do on your birthday? What do you do? What do you do on your birthday? Examiner might ask you, what do you like to buy? Or what are the things that you like to buy? What things do you like to buy? Examiner might ask you about your favorite day of the week. What's your favorite day of the week? What's your favorite day? What's your favorite day of the week? Examiner might also ask you, what's your favorite time of the day? What's your favorite time? What's your favorite time of the day? Examiner might also ask you, how do you travel? How do you travel? And of course, what's your favorite time of the year? What's your favorite time? What's your favorite time of the year? These days, examiner had also been asking, what's your favorite festival? What's your favorite festival? What's your favorite festival? And what's your favorite meal of the day? What's your favorite meal of the day? Now, when I say favorite meal of the day, that doesn't mean like fried chicken or pizza. That means breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You know, what's your favorite meal? Meal of the day. In a day, we take 3 meals. So what's your favorite meal of the day? What's your favorite? What's your favorite meal of the day? Randomly, the examiner will definitely ask you some questions about weather. So let's make a new batch in here for weather. Anyways, and now we're going to move further with Phase 1A weather questions. Now, let me tell you what possible questions your examiner might ask you about weather. Number 1, examiner will say, what's the weather like in your country? This means, how's the weather in your country? Please do not say, I like sunny weather, I like rainy weather. No, what's the weather like in your country? What's the weather like in your country, right? You will say the weather is mostly sunny or mostly windy or mostly rainy in my country, whatever you want to say. What's the weather like in your country? It's not about you. It is about, it means how is the weather in your country? How's the weather? How's the weather? How's the weather in your country? In your country. All right. Now, examiner might ask you, what do people do in wet weather? Or what do you do in wet weather? Or maybe the examiner might ask you, what's your favorite weather? What's your favorite weather? Now, there are so many people who say winter is my favorite weather, or they say summer is my favorite weather. That is wrong. Weather is a condition. Weather can change in a single day. In morning, rainy, in evening, maybe windy. So weather, rainy, windy, cloudy, sunny. Remember this point. What's your favorite weather? What do people do in hot weather in your country? What do people do in hot weather, in your country? In your country. And another possible question could be, these days, my students reported, what do you do in winter, right? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do in winter? And besides that, wet weather could be a thing, rainy weather, right? Do you like rainy weather? Do you like rainy weather? What do you do in wet weather? For all those people who think that wet weather, what it is rainy weather. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do in wet weather? Okay, now these are possible questions that are coming to my mind right now. I can't think of any other question. Exercise, everything I have pretty much covered. If there are any questions that you had seen on my channel, but I have missed them in here, please tell me about them. Everybody open your mics and please tell me if I've missed any questions, because there's a chance. Yes. Yes, please. Any questions that I had missed? TV, watching TV, I think I've missed. Which is your favorite TV program? And yes, I think that's something that I've missed. I'm gonna add that question probably in here. Do you like watching TV?
Favorite sports?
Favorite sports, I've never seen examiner asking this question in the phase 1A, but it might give you for discussion. But okay, if it's fine, we can write that in here. Do you like
favorite films? Favorite films?
Favorite film is already written. Do you? Okay. Do you like watching TV? Do you like watching TV? What's your favorite TV program? What's your, oh, I forgot one. Okay, wait. What's your favorite TV program? Favorite TV program. Okay, I have forgotten one. I'll let you know which one is this. That's about news. I think my student from Bangladesh had this question that do you read a newspaper and which newspaper do you read? Do you read a newspaper? Do you read? Let's move to the next page. It was about watching news or reading news, watching or reading news. Phase 1A. Possibly there's a chance that examiner might ask you, do you read a newspaper? Do you read newspaper? Do you read newspaper? And what newspaper do you read? So you must know the name of a newspaper. What newspaper paper do you read? Now, another question that's coming to my mind currently about learning English, examiner might ask you, do you like to learn English inside the class or outside the class? So we can put that in here as well. Do you learn English inside the class or outside the class? Do you prefer to learn English inside the class or outside the class? Oh, oops. Oh, dang it. Wait. Undo. Okay, do you like to learn English inside the class or outside the class? Do you like to learn English inside the class or outside the class? Outside the class. Okay, if there are any questions that are coming to your mind, please tell me. Outside the class. I think famous person, examiner is definitely asking these days, who's your favorite famous person in your country and who is your favorite person in general, like from your family or friends. So let's put it somewhere on the next page, favorite person. Okay, so examiner might ask you, who's your favorite person? Favorite famous person first. Favorite. Okay. Who is your favorite famous person? These days, this question is not very popular. That is, do you know people living on your street? But this one is very popular. How do you get information? How do you get information? Do you use internet to get information? Right? Who is your favorite person? After that, who is your favorite person in your family? Who is your... Understand this. Famous means a celebrity, like an actor, singer, dancer. Favorite person could be anyone, even your mother. Who is your favorite? Who is your favorite? Who is your favorite person? Who's your favorite person? And after that, what topic did I tell you right now? It was an important one. How can I forget this? This is so important. It was about what? How do you get...
Countryside.
No, Kamar.
Countryside.
Fateh, in phase 1A, we never get countryside question. But we get it as a discussion, but not in phase 1A.
Okay.
Who is your favorite person? I just told you right now, very important question. How do you
Who
get
can
it?
take for information?
Oh, thank you, Kamar. You're so nice. Okay. How do you get information? Very important question. Always repeated these days, like in the month of September, it was repeated a lot. How do you get information? And do you use internet to get information? Do you use internet to get information? Like off guard, if I've noticed another question, that is, do you like meeting people? Right? Do you like meeting people? How often do you meet people? How often do you meet people? Do you meet people? So right for now, what I've written a lot of questions in here, but these
Do
are
you
the
like help people?
helping people is a discussion question. It's not phase 1A. We'll get to that part also. Like what topics you can get for question round and for discussion. But right now, what's coming to my mind for phase 1A are these. Yeah. Anything if I'm missing, please let me know.
Question:
Let's,
how long
how long it's been you're learning English?
how long you have been in English, learning English?
That's a very good question. I'm sorry, I forgot. Yes, that's a very good one. And that for sure is an important question about learning English. So I don't know, I can't remove it, but I can put in here. How long it's been you're learning English? How long it's been you are learning English? Learning English. Besides that, I think we should put the question in here. What's your favorite sport? And somebody else told me something in here. I forgot. Okay. What's your favorite sport? And anything else?
No, his favorite thing. I think
Oh,
you.
what's your favorite thing? But that is again a discussion question, right? Talk about your favorite things or ask questions about favorite things. That is a different thing, right? In phase 1A, examiner has these questions written in front of him, so he will ask the same questions. One more thing, I think I forgot that one. How many people live with you? When the examiner might ask you about your house, the examiner will say, how many people live with you? How many people live with you? Or the examiner might ask you, who lives with you? Who? Who lives with you? Who? Who lives with you? Okay. If I'm missing any questions, then what could be those? These days, examiner is only asking, what do you do on weekends? What do you do in the evening? What's your favorite day of the week? Every time in all the, exams, this topic was common. Anything else that is coming to your mind, please tell me. Things you like to buy, favorite things.
Next day, week up.
Shopping online.
Yeah, do you like online shopping? But that's a topic that the examiner might ask you for. Phase 1B, but let's write it in here. Do you like online shopping? Do you like
Yes.
online shopping? And any other questions?
Use your
Everybody,
use anything. Use your phone. Use your
what things do you use every day? What do you use every day? What things do you use every day? What things do you use every day? I think this one I've never seen that in phase 1A, but we can write that in here. Besides that, one
What you
time.
like in your neighborhood?
What do you like about your neighborhood? That's a good question. Thank you. What do you like about who is your neighbor? Yeah, who is your neighbor and what do you like about your neighborhood? Who is your neighbor? Who is your neighbor? And what do you like about your neighborhood? What do you like about your neighborhood? Neighborhood. Neighborhood means your area. Yes, I forgot some questions. Very important questions are, do you have any shops near your house? What's your favorite shop near your house? What's your favorite shop near your house? What's your favorite shop near your house? Near your house. Anything else? I think there are so many questions, but for now, I'm just telling you the most popular ones. Most popular ones are just 10. Understand this, just 10. Question number 1 is, do you learn English? Do you think English is a difficult language? Do you think English is important? Why do you learn English? How do you speak in English with your husband? Do you live in a house or in a flat? Do you have a garden in your house? What do you do in the evening? Do you exercise? What kind of exercise do you like? And besides that, what do you do on weekends? What do you do in the evening? And what do you like about your country? That's all. These days, examiner is not even asking what kinds of jobs are popular in your country. These days, right? In the entire September, nobody reported anything but these easy, very easy questions. Yes, this time examiner asked, do you know how to cook? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to cook? And then asked, for how many people do you cook food? For how many people? For how many people do you cook food? Do you cook food? Okay.
When do you and what do you do to want to go to the UK?
No, that's not important. Okay. These days, examiner is not asking this one, but if you are prepared, that good for you. Who is your favorite singer? Another question, what do you do when you go outside with people? What do you do when you go out with people? Out with people. That is all. That is it. Now,
I got
everybody,
this question last time, Miss.
which one?
Which test last time?
Last time, what was your topic? Why do you want to go to UK?
Yes.
So what did you say then? That's a common one, by the way. Why do you want to go to UK? I want to go to UK to live with my wife. Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
a
no.
very,
What do you go to a job?
I don't
What
understand.
do
Repeat yourself. I don't
what
understand
do
your
you
question.
what do you do to want to open your company? What do you do the work?
What do you do? The job that you do,
Uh-huh.
what do you do? So that's a basic question.
And the UK.
What work will you do in the UK?
Yes,
Maybe the examiner asked you, what's your dream job?
Miss,
maybe.
do you know people live in your street?
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you know people living on your street? Do you know people living on your street? But these days, this question nobody's asking. You know, we know so many questions because I prepare questions based on whatever students tell me and whatever I know about my experience and stuff. So these days, this question is not very common, that do you know people living on your street? But if you know the answer, that's very nice. Anyone else with other questions on your mind? Fateh, I still do not understand your question, please. I still do not get it. I still don't understand. These days, I think one topic was fashion also for asking questions. Fashion. Yeah, there could be a chance that the examiner might ask you, what kind of clothes do you like to wear? What kinds of clothes do you like to wear? Fateh, can you explain your question to me once again, because I don't understand your question.
What do you like to do in the UK?
Okay, what would you do? You can say I will do a job in the UK. I will do a private job in the
Yes,
UK.
yes.
But I've never heard this question, but it's okay. What work will you do in the UK? What work? This is not a common one, by the way. What work would you?
What do you do in other day weekend?
What do you do on other days of the week?
Yes.
Not really. Like, what do you do in the weekdays? That's a question. One question is, what do you do on weekend? That means on Saturday and Sunday. But what do you do
Mm-hmm.
on weekdays? What do you do on
Weekday.
weekdays? Weekdays means Monday to Friday. On weekdays. What would you do in the UK? What job would you do in the UK? I've never heard this question before, but we'll write it in here. What job would you do in the UK? Fateh, it is time for you guys to practice. And now I will keep sharing this with you, and we're going to make teams now.